next day, on January 19th, runners scrambled to submit runs that will show them relevant on the leaderboards. These runners include Azian with a time of 35 seconds and 66 milliseconds, Yuki with a time of 36 seconds and 180 milliseconds, Nahu 16 with a time of 40 seconds and 72 milliseconds, and Citrus with a time of 49 seconds and 600 milliseconds. After yesterday's 4 runs, a surprising 7 runs were submitted to speedrun.com, but only 2 of them break within the top 5 in terms of time. Hypermega, with a time of 37 seconds and 18 milliseconds, gives him a 4th place run, and Feels Better gets a 5th place run with a time of 38 seconds and 93 milliseconds. On January 21st, Feels Better beats his time of 38 seconds and 93 milliseconds with a time of 34 seconds and 750 milliseconds, beating Azian Snake and putting him into 2nd place. The next day, Azian Snake takes revenge and steals back 2nd place with a time of 33 seconds and 950 milliseconds. A new runner, Recorder Enthusiast, submits a 4th place time of 35 seconds and 980 milliseconds. For the next 5 days, Classic 25 Apples is fairly inactive, but on the 27th of January, a new runner with the name of Tuzuk submits a run of 34 seconds and 490 milliseconds, putting him behind Azian Snake and in front of Feels Better. Top 5 continues to stay relatively inactive, but another new runner by the name of Yario gets a 34 second, 870 millisecond run, making him 5th place and bumping Recorder Enthusiast into 6th place. Little did we know, this would be the last top 5 run in Classic 25 for a while. Days pass, weeks pass, months pass, but after months of silence, it's broken. I'm Schnippy submits a time of exactly 34 seconds. This puts him at 3rd place and bumps Liario's time out of the top 5. A month and a day later, Space Doge comes in to make a difference and puts his 32-second and 950 millisecond time on speedrun.com, the 2nd ever sub-33, showing how formidable as a Google Snake player he is. This also puts him into 2nd place. This run also starts the ball rolling and forms a 2nd peak of Google Snake speedruns in the Classic 25 Apples category. Four days later, Space Doge beats his own time with a time of 32 seconds and 817 milliseconds, 3rd ever sub-33. 4 days later, Max Holt submits his time of 33 seconds and 633 milliseconds, putting him third on the leaderboard. Then, on June 18th, Space Doge and I'm Schnippy both beat their own scores, which are both submitted on this day. Space Doge beats his time with a time of 30 seconds and 517 milliseconds, and I'm Schnippy with the time of 29 seconds and 867 milliseconds. I'm Schnippy's time of 29 seconds and 867 milliseconds is the second ever sub 30 and surpasses Space Doge on the leaderboard with it. Eight days later, Little Jap Kid submits his first ever top 5 run on Classic 25, with a time of 32 seconds and 400 milliseconds, making it the 6th ever sub 33, but also shows how good Little Jap Kid is as a runner. One day before July 4th, Space Doge submits his first ever sub 30 and shows I'm Schnippy who's boss, as well as beating his score by 290 milliseconds, with a time of 29 seconds and 583 milliseconds. Later, Vatru, a runner who's been slowly dwindling his time down, finally gets a top 5 time with a time of 32 seconds and 833 milliseconds, beating out Max Holt with a top 5. Then, on July 12th, a runner by the name of Soul Speedruns submits the 4th ever sub 30 with a time of 29 seconds and 733 milliseconds, which also moves I'm Schnippy down into 4th, Little Jap Kid into 5th, and Vatru into 6th. Months later, Jamie Kilgo submits their first run on this day, which is a 31 second and 217 millisecond time, putting them into 5th place. Achieves a 31 second and 200 millisecond time, which beats Jamie Kilgo's 5th place run. Later, no DN, so just spots with the snake mustache by achieving a 30-second and 633 millisecond time, putting him into 5th. Later, Baron DX is an impressive run of 28 seconds and 883 milliseconds, being the closest run to Yarmiplay's 28.333, and furthermore showing how great Baron is at Google Snake. Sadly, that's the only run of Google Snake I can find, so we can't see how much further he's gone in speedrunning. Months later, runner Exotic Coastoff gets a 29-second and 700 millisecond run. Little did we know, he'd keep running. He grinded it out for a week, and then, on March 16th, a miracle happened. He starts a run, and he's already got incredible RNG. When he gets the 10th apple, 10 seconds have passed. When he gets the 15th apple, 16 seconds have passed. When he gets the 20th apple, 23 seconds have passed. Then he eats the 25th apple and records a time of 28 seconds and 80 milliseconds. He had done it. He had beaten Yarmiplay's time, a time that had went unbeaten for 442 days. The longest time a Google Snake World Record has gone unbeaten for. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know, thanks for watching. I will also be interviewing Exotic Coastoff, so it'd be nice if you guys had any questions, you could put them in the chat. And here's some of my other videos.